been on your mind. Been the one since a youngin', I cannot deny. Wear my heart on my sleeve, keep a gun on my side. Laying it ears to the deaf, giving sight to the blind.
What's going on, guys? This is episode 3 of Ample Minds podcast. It is a pleasure. Thank you guys for the first 2 episodes. It was a great amount of support coming my way. But we are here with episode 3. You know, my very first guest, a guy that I've known since middle school. He's doing it big. This guy does pieces for Absol, Isaiah Rashad, and many others. The Streets Jeweler, Saeed. Go ahead and clap it up for my boy. My dog. How are you, brother?
Happy to be here, brother.
Appreciate you, bro.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, like I said, you are somebody that, you know, as far as my first guest, it made the most sense. You know, you came in here and we've known each other from skateboarding days, and then you went on a different avenue, you know, right? That's life. And then for me, I never personally like ever dreamed about, you know, making pieces for other people and stuff like that. Like a lot of, you know, growing up, you know, just where I grew up, it's always about, you know, getting the piece, but you understand like, you know, the money behind it
Yeah.
and the business. So I just
Yeah.
want to really just pick your brain and how did you go about it? You know, was it like an influence, you know, family growing up? Or, you know, how did you just get to being a jeweler and, you know, being a successful one at that?
It never came into any family business. I never my family's never been in jewelry. It just kind of went on from skateboarding and then getting in lots of trouble, fucking around.
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah, you know how much trouble we got in.
Straight up.
Um, yeah, so I just seen on Instagram, Google, just like jewelry making, and I started trying to get into it because before jewelry, I was in a junkyard welding stuff,
Okay,
doing
okay.
welding and all of that, and then I started working for somebody for free that owned a jewelry store.
Really?
So I
Okay.
worked for free for 2 years,
Damn.
and he told me he was going to start teaching me, but never did. You know, so I was like, "Fuck this!" Dipped out on him, learned about diamonds, learned about the business, and just started going up from there. You know, just now I got my own shop, and there's many more to come.
That's great, brother.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Hell
That
yeah.
is super dope to really hear. And as far as like, were you selling, from the crib before you got the shop? Was it like a investment, or how did that come to get the shop? As far as from you learning and then going, just from that business and then just straight up shop, or was it just strictly okay? Well, I've done so much on this side. I got the money, so let me just go ahead and make that investment and let
Mhm.
me get the shop going.
So the shop came uh, 4 years after.
Okay.
So what I was strictly doing was that's why I got the name Streets Jeweler because I was literally on the streets.
Okay. There we go. There
I'd
it is.
get DMs. I started making grills, the gold teeth.
Yeah, I do remember that
Yeah,
actually vividly. Okay, I
yeah,
remember that.
yeah. So I was making the gold teeth, and I'd go to rapper studios. I'd go mold them up and take the impression of their teeth, and then go back to the shop, get a bunch of orders from everybody, go back to the shop, make them, bring them right back, and I get orders for chains. I drop them off to the studio, or I drop them off to their house. Very dangerous.
Yeah, no, straight up.
It was very dangerous, but I wasn't thinking about it. But I still did it, and yeah, I did get robbed one time.
Okay.
Yeah, it was pretty much a setup. Probably like $150,000 of jewelry
Wow.
gone,
Wow.
and that's the price you pay for being, just having that much jewelry
And
and that
then
much
yeah,
value going on the streets, selling out your trunk to
straight up.
people. Yeah,
Straight
so
up. Yeah,
it,
especially if like, you're selling to, rappers or up and coming, they're
yeah,
just, they're just trying to get it, for low,
yeah,
and then they're just trying to
honestly,
flaunt and stuff like that.
I don't blame them.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. The name of the game at that point,
I
right?
was mad for a little bit. I took a break off Instagram, just trying to run that back up, and then I was just sitting there like, man, I need a place of business, man. I
There you
just
go.
$150,000 of jewelry needed 3 years to get that gone in 2 seconds. You know?
Shit. Yeah,
Yeah,
I would have been devastated, bro.
yeah, I was, but it's
Hey,
the name of the game.
right?
Yeah,
You can't let that get to you,
yeah,
obviously, from my experiences, what I gone through, you just gotta chalk it up as a lesson. And then you
honestly,
did just that. I mean, honestly, if it wasn't for you getting robbed, you know, me, just being having the optimistic mindset of like, well, shit, this happened, but there's always a silver lining.
yep,
That's somebody telling you, whoever you believe or the universe, God, whatever it is, hey, listen, like, it's time for you to move up. You don't belong, just
exactly,
straight up out your trunk. Go
exactly,
ahead and make that business move. A lot of people don't understand that. And
exactly,
for you to make that business move and open your own shop, that's big time.
exactly.
And
Yeah,
it's funny how you kind of like, you were telling me like, yo, yeah, I was making grills in the beginning, and I do but now. Like that's just barely coming back to me right now.
yeah.
You were out here just making grills. I
Just
remember
grills.
posting Instagram. That little gum shit. They're biting on that shit.
Yeah,
And I mean, even pops. Pops on a grill stuff like that at the time
pops.
too.
Yeah, all the homies did their little support. They
Yeah,
got
bro,
one.
that's crazy.
Did some for my brothers. Did some for people that I never even pictured having a grill.
You're right.
Just did it. Just to support me.
That's so dope, bro.
Yeah,
That is so great. And like I said, just me and you, just let's even pull it back a bit. Me and you grew up skateboarding.
yeah.
Middle school and stuff like that. Back in the day, we were part of a group called OTMC. Shout out
OTMC.
Pops, Mondo,
Yup.
everybody. It was just like us, being kids, just having a great time, just skating. Just we were in Harbor City, posting videos and stuff like that. And even Saeed will tell you, for some reason he before we were from he called me a dick. Tell him how bad. Go ahead.
I hated this guy,
Yeah.
man. I hated this guy. I was new to the OTMC. My boy Pops took me in, see me
Shout
skateboarding.
out Pop.
I wasn't a good skateboarder, honestly, but I got better. I
You
got better,
did.
but everybody was cool with me except Richie. This dude was
Bro.
an asshole.
Yeah, bro. I'm
This
sorry, man.
he did. He'll just not talk to me, nothing, just mug me all the time. And I'm telling myself, I'm like, I gotta shit on this dude. I
Yeah.
gotta get better
There we
and,
go.
and kickflip over this dude or something.
He got better though.
I did, yeah. But
Sl-
after that,
Slowly but surely.
we can become friends. And now today, this is the first time me calling him a dick from when he was calling him out.
Yeah, and that's good, bro. I'm glad you called me out. And then
Yeah.
that way we can have that conversation. Just me. I don't know why. I didn't at the time I was just so very like closed off,
And I
as
don't blame you.
in terms of like the people I grew up with, like if you're my friend, we're in it for life. I'll do whatever you need. I'll take a bullet for you, especially in the
Yep.
environment we were at.
Yeah.
And just I don't know why. I'm just saying, looking back on it now, that was not the way to look, approach it. But as far as myself, I just needed for him to prove himself to me to be an actual homie. Okay, oh, he's really about skating, or he's really out here, just skating these streets with us. Whatever it is, he's down, and he just proved himself at that point. And then from then on, our friendship is past skateboarding. He's now
Mhm.
doing jewelry, and I can support him and be actually truly happy for him and all his endeavors. And then him supporting me with coming on this podcast, the very first guest. Like I said, him hating me and like me not really like, who is this dude? And now we're out here just, having a podcast together, just chopping it up and just growing. And it's honestly truly a blessing to see. And it's actually, it's funny how life works like that,
Hell yeah,
right?
it's crazy.
We don't even know if we're
You
gonna
know.
be freaking friends a couple for months from now.
Exactly.
Where it is 5 years later, you got your own stuff going on. I'm trying to do what I gotta do,
Yeah.
and it's dope to see that,
Hell
brother.
yeah. And I'm happy to be the first one on this podcast. Pops Mondo, I'm sorry, bro. I had to be the
Yeah,
first.
he's it, bro.
I had to be the first.
Like I said, he's out here hustling, and this podcast is about like-minded individuals. Like I said, I'm not a jeweler, but his mindset is where my mindset wants to be. He's hustling heavy,
Hustling.
right? He's just hustling. And, what I'm saying, I'm trying to hustle in a different way, with this
Yeah.
podcast, and then whatever I want to do in the future. But like I said, if you just take time to listen to somebody else, regardless if they don't do the same things as you,
Mhm.
you can learn a lot, right?
Exactly.
Like
Yeah.
the fact that he was doing it at his trunk, I'm doing it out of my apartment, extra spare room. I don't even have a
Yeah.
bed right now.
Mm-mm.
This straight up couch and setup.
Hell
Like
yeah.
that's what we're doing.
That's how I started too. We
There it
started
is,
somewhere.
bro. You got to start somewhere. So that's some type of motivation for anybody trying to do anything.
Exactly.
Two people right here. And me, I'm just gonna straight up be, throw you some curveballs. Like I don't know a lot about jewelry, but like me, I'm just trying to do what I want to do. And, I'm saying I'm not, the most financial stable person. I'm just grinding. I got 2 jobs and podcasts on the side, and I'm trying to do a little extra side hustle shit. And, the goal that I have on my neck right now is strictly family passed on.
Yeah.
My grandma, my mom's. My mom got so much gold, she's pawning it sometimes.
Yeah.
2 weeks ago, I had to take out, like a lot of her gold rings, because gold, if she needs the money, she's gonna go ahead and do that for our family.
Of course.
And I'm glad I was in a position to take that out for her and do stuff like that. But I truly don't know a lot about gold and stuff like that. So I have a question, bro.
Yeah.
Just me growing up, I never got like diamond earrings and stuff like that, just because I would party a lot and they'd be gone the next day.
Yeah,
So I'm
just
like,
be
fuck
drunk.
that.
Yeah.
Fuck that. I'm not about to spend no money that I know I'm gonna lose.
Yeah.
Like I'm very like irresponsible with like little ass shit like that.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm like, I'm cool. If I don't got it like that, let me go ahead and just not even
Nah,
touch it.
yeah.
It's like whatever's on my neck, that's just given to me.
Yeah.
But I have a question. So like I'll see like, when I went to the pawn shop with my mom's, and they got like a little shit right there. It says like gold, right? And it looks like an earring. It looks like a diamond earring and it says
Mhm.
gold. Is it really possible to have like gold shit like that? Or like what is that?
Gold earrings?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so gold, you can always you can make gold into anything, you know?
Okay.
What we do is we melt down the gold and, would have a wax model. So we go on the computer, we do a 3D model to show the customer what they're getting. We design it exactly how it's gonna look. They approve it. We print it a 3D model, and then it comes out to be basically the model of your piece, same size, but into wax.
Okay.
It's literally wax. So whatever you want to make, we do that, and then it comes out to wax. You look at it, and then we put it in a metal tube, and then we pour this investment in there. So we hold it up with more wax to hold. It's called a tree,
Okay.
and we put that wax there, and then we pour the investment in, and it gets hard. It turns hard after about 20 minutes. You put into an basically like an oven, and you put it into the oven for about 4 hours. It burns the wax out. So
Okay.
what it now has, it has a basically a whole mold, just an empty mold inside that tube. So after the wax burns out, we cut a little hole, and we basically shoot the gold into there. We melt it, we shoot the gold into there. We pull it out, and then it's the whole piece, and we just gotta start carving it down, sanding it down, and then you go from there.
I got you.
Yeah,
Okay, for
it's
sure.
so
Yeah,
you can
bro.
make whatever into gold, basically.
Okay,
So
I
there's
see.
some fake jewelry, there's some real jewelry, there's gold plate, there's gold filled, but solid gold is the real one.
Solid gold.
Yeah,
Got you. Okay,
solid
yeah.
gold.
I see that.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, brother. Hey, like I said, I need you to teach me.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
might
yeah.
any piece that I get, bro, I'm going straight to you. Or honestly, bro, like I said, I'm not buying anything until I know, I can buy it 3 or 4 times.
Exactly. That's
So
what I
if
tell
I'm gonna
everybody.
buy, if I'm gonna buy anything, I'm gonna buy from you regardless. So
Exactly.
I
Yeah,
know I'm good.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
if you guys need anything, go over to West Coast Jewelers. Where's it at? Go ahead and tell them.
It's right here on Lomita. It's in Lomita next to Rizzo's Pizza. It's go down Lomita Boulevard and Narbonne before it turns on Arlington, 24 100 Narbonne Avenue.
There it is. Go ahead and grab it. And then as far as me, I when I first, put out my first 2 episodes, it was just me trying to have everybody know me and stuff like that.
Yeah,
And I got some goals and aspirations, but I had to be real with myself. Like, what do I got going on as far as my intangibles and my personality,
yeah,
and what I know that I have is good for me, and some bad habits that I may not, maybe not proud of
of
that I got to
course.
work on.
Yeah,
So I just want to ask you, and then anybody coming on this podcast, I want you guys to be better, and let's go ahead and have like a moment of vulnerability, and I want you to tell me like truly like what do you think that is a good quality that you have that you're proud of that you can stand on. Like honestly, I feel like I do this really well, and I feel like this helps me in my daily lifestyle.
yeah,
And explain that, and then maybe see that you can't really look yourself in the mirror for a second, but I could be doing a little better at
hmm
at this particular area.
hmm
If I kind of just pick this up, I'd be a little better. Maybe from here on out you can work on it, or I can you can tell me, and then I may have an answer for you. I'm like, oh, you can probably go ahead and do this, or
yeah,
like this and that. So,
yeah,
yeah, I mean, let's start with the positive first. I mean, there's no, positive, negative. It's just that
hmm
we all, as human beings, we're not perfect,
of
and there's
course.
always room to get better,
Yeah,
right?
of course.
So go ahead, brother.
Basically, we all need to work on something. Nobody's perfect. And always there's always more time to learn something. Even if you're all the way at the top, there's still more to learn.
Absolutely.
Don't ever knock another man's hustle because you may think you know more than him. That guy might have more intelligence on something else than you. Um, it's always good to learn from somebody else.
Yep.
Yeah, basically just learn from somebody else, man. Never knock another man's hustle because you may not know what that guy is going through.
Straight up.
That's what I always tell myself. Um, I always have people around me because they may know something that I don't know. I'm always learning stuff from other friends. There's always more more room to learn on
Okay.
everything.
That's
Yeah,
dope. So you're
yeah, yeah.
basically saying that you keep that open mind to know
Open
that
mind.
you don't know everything,
Yeah,
and then
that's
you
it.
can always learn from other people, right?
Yeah, there's not a. You always have to keep learning, bro. Never say I know it. I'm 100% perfect at it because nobody is.
So,
I've been in this business for about 12 years and I still fuck up.
there it is.
I still fuck up. I've been learning. I've been working with gold for 12 years, and a fake piece got by me, and I may have purchased it.
There it is,
Cause
bro.
you always fuck up, always.
My dog.
Yeah,
So basically, you're a really humble dude at the end of the day, you know.
yeah, yeah.
Humble dude.
I'm always trying to talk to everybody, learn from other people all the time. I never look over somebody. I never. Mm-mm.
My dog.
Only humble.
Appreciate that. Yeah, I love to hear that. What about you? What is there an aspect in your life or in some life that you feel like you can do a little better at, or you may feel like you got to pick that up? Because I can tell you, me for example, like I said in one of my podcasts, I feel like I'm a very self-aware person, right? I know that regardless of what I have, I've earned. What I don't have, I haven't earned. There's no finger blaming. There's no pointing at other people for what I didn't have. I don't got no victim mentality, and like I said, I know I can dictate the problem, what it is. I just know everything in my surroundings. I know what it is. I'm not oblivious.
Mhm.
I don't play victim to anything. So whatever I don't have, I don't have. Whatever I do have, I earn. If I want to earn something, I got to put in the work.
Of
But on the
course.
other side, my biggest weakness is, for me, being self-aware person is, yeah, I'm self-aware, but also I'm a big ass procrastinator and my
Mhm.
self-discipline is horrible. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So like, and it's fucked up to even say that because, dude, like, I mean, how do I know I need to do something and I know the problem and know the root of the problem, but I won't do it. Or
Yeah.
like I'll put it off, right?
Yeah.
So that even cancels out my biggest strength,
Yeah.
you know? So that's kind of example, or like it doesn't have to be on that extent, but like what do you think that if I kind of like do a little better here, or like maybe if I could do something, or what do you want? Like what is something that you feel like you can pick up, to even, extend your success even further?
Um, get rid of laziness. Honestly,
Facts.
getting too comfortable.
Oh, absolutely.
Getting too comfortable. You may sit down, lay down, chill on your phone. You may have had a long day and you just chill on your phone. Oh, I got to do this. I'll do it in a minute. And an hour later, you're still sitting right there. Still sitting right there.
There it is.
That's something I need to get rid of. I need to get better at, and forgetting a lot of things too.
Okay.
May have some people hit me up, ask me for this, ask me for that, and I forget because I got so many other things I'm doing.
Okay.
And number one thing is I'm always on my phone because that's where my business is at.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everybody's business, basically,
True. Nowadays,
90%.
yeah,
So I get my I'm always on my phone, just scrolling through stuff, messaging people back, doing business on my phone. And I may be on my phone too much. I need to get rid of that too, because when I'm with friends, I'll be on my phone. I'm out with my family, I'm on my phone. Laziness too, got to get rid of that. It just some things we all need to work on. There's always things people need to work on to get better
absolutely.
and do all that type of stuff.
But hey, that's dope. I respect that.
Yeah,
Like, I mean, I can understand where you're coming from as far as laziness and getting too comfortable. I mean, to have, a good amount of success as you had, you know, if it was me, I can see where that comfortability would come in
mhm,
because shit, I mean, if I was even making half the money you was making, I'd be like, shit, I'm cooler, because at the end of the day, my mom's, working hella two jobs to even make a
yeah.
couple thousand, 3,000
God bless her.
straight, exactly. And God bless her soul. So it's like even in my mind, and that's kind of like the mind that I kind of got to get out of too. Is well, shit. If I even have 15 G's, I'm cool. You know,
Whatever.
exactly. So it's that ability to always stay hungry. You know, what I'm
Yeah,
saying what you're saying is you just got to stay hungry,
yeah.
right? And it's like that's how I was looking at it back then, but the mindset's changed now. You know what I'm
What?
saying? You got to look at it from beyond yourself, beyond myself and my mom, maybe generation.
Of course.
So but by the time that you're gone and you leave your kids, they got something to work with,
Yes, of
right?
course.
And that's what we got to look at it.
And you never need amount of money to start a business
There it is. Talk to
because
them.
I started with zero.
There we go.
I had all that jewelry and zero money in my pocket. I didn't purchase that jewelry.
That's real.
I have a good friend. He's now my business partner. His name is Sano. His jewelry. He works in jewelry as well. And I met him, and we started chopping it up. He had a bunch of jewelry. He deals in a lot of jewelry as well. He had a bunch. So what I started doing was I take a picture of that chain, and I'll just post the price. And somebody will be like, "Oh, I want it."
Uh huh.
I'm like, "Oh, no way!" And I tell my boy, "I'm like, hey, he wants it." Okay, go ahead, take it, and come back and give me the money later. I'm like, okay. So I started doing that. Next, thing you know, he started trusting me with more stuff, more stuff, more stuff. Made enough profit to buy my own jewelry and flip my own stuff.
There it is.
So any type of business, you don't need to buy it all. You don't need to buy that right away. You don't need any money. You can always start off with loans, or you can borrow something from somebody. There's always some way to make money from borrowing something from somebody. I can borrow all this from you. Go do a podcast,
There it
give it
is.
back to you when I'm done. You do it and just keep doing it like that.
Fun fact:
Yeah,
I used Gil's mic to even film my first 2 episodes. I didn't
exactly.
even own one.
Like you were telling me.
I just bought these yesterday,
Yeah.
knowing that I was gonna have a guest. I was
And
like, well, shit, I can't, mooch on this motherfucker forever. But those first 2 episodes, shout out to Gil Tootie, the one, he let me borrow his mic, and that's how you got to get it done.
yeah,
However you got to get it
exactly.
done, just get it done. Everything will work out on itself. It's just that one foot that you got to say. You got to get that toenail in the door. You got to do it.
Of course, shout out Gil too.
Shout out Gil,
He a
man.
real one
He
for
is a
letting you
real
borrow
one.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
for
should be
sure.
coming. He's late right now, but he's coming though. I believe it.
Yeah.
My job. Well, anything else you got? You gotta, you gotta tell me anything. Any questions you got for me, bro?
Um, questions.
Any questions? Any questions about me or anything as far as what you want to shout out?
What's up with you and skating? You still skating?
Oh man, that's the question everybody wants to know, bro. I'm not skating no more.
Come on, bro. You
Always,
were you were a beast, bro.
I appreciate
You
that.
were crazy on that board.
I appreciate that, bro. It was definitely a great time in my life. A lot of people tell me, I was up there. And every time, and like as far as all our old skateboarding friends, they'll be like, "Hey, do an ollie flip for me," or like do a heel flip for me, and I
Yeah.
do it, and they'll be like, "Man, you should have never quit skating."
And you
But I
still
mean,
got it.
I still got it. But I only had one mission at that point in time in my life, and that was to do a crook nollie flip, and
Oh
I did
yeah.
that.
Yeah,
You remember that?
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh my
bro.
god,
That was
bro.
that was my trick, bro. Like I was so obsessed with landing that trick. The moment I landed it, I was like, "I'm
It
good."
was
That was
crazy.
cool.
It
And
was
then
crazy.
you remember Skating Formers?
Skate informers?
Do you remember that YouTube channel me and Pops had a long ass time ago?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
skate informers. You
that
guys
was.
always put like three episodes out.
Bro, we had like hella videos.
You guys were doing like I remember
We were
skate
doing
informers. That
reviews.
shit was
That
hilarious,
shit, right?
bro.
And we had skits and shit like that.
That shit, you're always the best talk over videos type. I
Yeah.
remember that thing you did, Billy Green. What was it? Gerald Green.
Gerald Green with
That
The
shit was
Office.
that
The
was
Office,
hilarious.
man. I'm gonna put that up somewhere here. The Office, Gerald Green. That was my persona right there. But
No, that was
that's the thing.
hilarious,
But yeah,
bro.
skate informers, because I was kind of falling out of love with skateboarding.
Yeah.
But when I started skating formers with Pops, that kind of grew. That kind of kept me skating a little longer than I would have. But then my passion for content creating grew,
Uh,
and that's where
yeah.
it came from. And I tried to go to fucking college for that shit, but I couldn't.
No,
Like my mindset was horrible.
I feel you.
Like school was not for me.
School is
But
not
it's
for me
like,
either.
but I love doing it.
Yeah.
Editing all this shit I learned on my own. But I might go back. Honestly, I might go back to school for that. I might.
I-
We'll see.
Honestly, bro, I think school ain't. I think school ain't it.
It's not, yeah,
Honestly,
honestly. I mean, like it's not for everybody. Like it's
I think it's
hard.
not supposed to be for anybody,
You
bro.
think yeah,
In my opinion,
that
bro,
makes sense. Go ahead and talk that. Go ahead.
I think because I ask people like, "Hey, what are you studying for?" They say business, and you take a look at their teachers, and they're just you're learning business from a guy that's middle class. Like no offense to middle class. No, middle
Yeah.
class is perfect. I'm talking like you're learning. He's trying to teach you how to make millions when he's not. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
Like
get that makes sense.
business is like, how do you know about business when you're a school teacher? You know what I mean? I think you should be learning business from somebody that's a millionaire. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I
That's
agree.
already been done it. You
I
know,
agree.
I think I failed every single class. I failed every single class in school. I did school, never go to school. I always had bad grades. It was not for me. And you don't need to go to school to be successful. And I'm not saying I'm successful. I'm basically just starting out my own business, and you don't need school to open up a business. You don't need school to learn about other things. You know what? What do you need to learn about 1943? Whatever happened back then?
Facts.
History teachers. Why do you need to learn that?
That's true.
What does that teach
I mean, there it is. You heard it from Saeed, man. I mean, like I said, he he's not. I for me, he's successful as shit. Like straight up, I'm like I said, I saw where he came from. He's successful as shit. But like I said, there's always bigger fish. He's chasing it. But I mean, even a lot of people with his level of success, if he's telling you you don't need it, it's more likely you got to build up that one that ambition, and two you got to go out there and learn from people who are actually really doing it. right?
Of course.
You know,
Yeah,
firsthand,
yeah, yeah.
right? Because at the end of the day, you know, I have my beliefs about the government and stuff like that, and how they're just trying to, you know, just make you part of that hamster wheel, that rat race
Of
of just getting a
course.
job and a paycheck.
Of
And I was
course.
telling you guys out in my first episode that I'm trying to get out of that
Of
employee mindset into that business and investor mindset, right? That's where the
course.
true wealth is, right? When you don't have to exchange time for money,
Of
you know what I'm
course.
saying? And that's what we're all chasing. That's what we're all striving. And I'm glad, you know, I got Saeed as my first guest because he's really doing it, right? You know, he has his own shop. He can even tell you he's probably working more than he's ever worked, you know, in his original job. But one, it's more fulfilling. And two, you know, he still can have, you know, free up his time if he really needs to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Not if he was, you know, clocking in, clocking out and had that schedule, you know, because nobody's firing him,
Nobody's
right?
gonna fire me.
Nobody's
No.
firing him.
No.
My
No.
man got
No.
his own business,
No. My brothers
right?
are
Right, dog? There it is.
my brothers are my work. They work with me and my brothers work together. So
Family
if
business.
I'm not there, my brothers are. You know, and I'm working with my brothers.
That's amazing, brother.
And I don't want to hire nobody or get anybody in my business like that because I'm only trusting my brothers with my product and their products.
That's
You know,
all it is.
and I don't know what I think. If you work for somebody else, you're building their dream.
Yep.
You know, you see your boss pull up in a nice Porsche, and he tells you, "Hey, you keep working harder. You're gonna get.
A
You're gonna
fucking pizza party.
no, if you keep working harder, I'll get the newer one next year. You'll
Yeah.
get the newer one next year, not you. If you work harder, though,
That's
that's
crazy.
what's good about owning a business because you work for yourself. Every dollar you make in that business goes to you. I see people sometimes they're working for other people and they're always telling me like, "Oh, we're doing this. I'm doing this for." I'm like, "You're doing this for a paycheck. You can be putting all this work you're putting into your own business, but you're putting so much work and effort into somebody else's business to build their dream, not yours.
There it
Because
is.
at the end of the day, if you pass away, he can just replace you
Easily.
right away.
Easily.
You know. So what's the point of working for somebody when you're just building their dream, man? You know, you just got to build your dream and keep pushing. You know, because when I was doing this jewelry stuff, I wanted to quit so many times. Quit.
Yep.
I just wanted to quit. I'm like, you know, months, just nothing, nothing. And owning a business, you gotta look at it as you're not getting paid for a long time. You're gonna be broke for a minute because you gotta build your dream. You gotta build what your passion is. You know, when I opened my shop, we did- me and my brothers did not get paid for about a year. We did not get paid
There it
because
is.
we're building our dream. You know, later on, maybe our kids are going to be working there.
It's
You know,
amazing, brother.
so that's why I always tell people focus on your dream. Maybe if you need to work for somebody else while you're building your dream,
That's
and
fine.
that's what I did.
Yeah.
I was focusing on my stuff, but working here just to get some money, just to pass through that minimum wage. You
There
know?
it is. My dog.
Yeah,
That's game right there, guys. That's game. You guys got to really soak that up. I'm
gotcha.
telling you, he's done it. I said I've watched him do it.
You watch me
Grills
do
from the
it.
trunk,
Everything.
skateboarding, grills from the trunk. He got his own
Everything.
shop, and he's not stopping here. I mean, you can ask him right now. Are you satisfied, bro?
Never.
There it is. So
I'm
he's
never
coming.
satisfied.
Okay, then. So that's true. Well, that's true mind right there. This is the second mind of Ample Minds podcast. We really got a deep dive of, and it's been a true pleasure, brother. Saeed, West Coast Jewelers. Tell them where it's at.
24-100 Narbonne Avenue.
Narwan Avenue. The Streets Jeweler on IG. Anything else you want to, get out there, brother?
Nothing. I'm just proud of my boy Richie for doing this podcast. You know, we came a long way, and we still got a long way. So, and
Absolutely.
I'm happy to be the first guest, brother.
I'm glad you were the first guest,
Hell
bro.
yeah.
Truly, I
Hell
appreciate
yeah.
you. You really gave us some game, and
tried.
it's inspiring on my
Yeah.
end, and I'm sure it's inspiring for anybody else.
I appreciate that. Yeah.
My dog, Saeed, appreciate
Brother,
you, brother.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, my
I'm
dog.
just passing the time.